Alrighty. Throwa Lightacer from XQ Order 66 in Division 2 has himself a 6-star Malik, sitting pretty, Gear 13 Bastion Fallen. Placing top 50 in both, possibly top 20 in Arena. Who knows when his climb was? He could be getting first, who knows? Got a good looking roster, one Gear 13, so most likely free to play. Lots of Gear 10s I'm seeing, and some Gear 9s. Let's see how your speeds are. Darth Revan's your fastest with 125 and 121. Okay, let's see here. And then you got Jedi Knight Revan at 104. And then BB-8, 95, and then 87. Okay, so first things first, you're going to need to do a lot of mod farming. Some speed sets of 140 and 150 and even 160 should be on some of your characters at your galactic power. Honestly, I would just go to the mod challenges and farm as many speed mods as you can, because yeah, you should have some sets above 140 and 150 at this point in the game. That's just a first initial thought here. Shouldn't take you too long to get that many sets. You could get 2 or 3 sets of 140 within a month, if you're lucky. Not really lucky, but I mean, you could do it. It's possible. I believe in you. I like the Gear 13 piece on him. Curious how you have his Gear 13 piece when, or not how, but why you have his Gear 13 piece when you're running a Darth Revan for Arena. Huh. Anyways, so Darth Revan's your fastest. By the way, I've seen and kind of experimented that having Basilisk Fallen with your fastest mod set is the more ideal route. It works better. It may seem counterproductive because you're not, her base speed's lower, but whoever's Basilisk Fallen goes first has a higher chance of winning the match. You could also insert you could also make him very fast and have Grandmaster Yoda on your arena team. As a suggestion, there's multiple videos on that lineup, depending on what you want to do, because his base speed is like 20 speed faster than Basilisk Fallen's. If you want, you might improve some climbing, beating tougher teams. There's some YouTube videos you can look up on Grandmaster Yoda with Darth Revan. Up to you. Let's go through some bounty hunters. I like the Django here. So Django has a fast base speed, and you want him to go fast just in general. Like I'm talking at least plus 80 bare minimum. Plus 100 would be ideal, and all your mods should have at least plus 10 on them. And I'm talking, if you don't see a plus speed in the secondaries, it's not a really useful mod. I mean, yeah, it has uses, but the unfortunate thing about this game is that everything revolves around mods. Mods, mods, mods. If you have an identical roster with your opponent in Grand Arena, whoever has the better mods wins. Whoever has faster characters wins. They take more turns. So every mod should have at least, I mean, plus 10 speed. That's the goal for every mod. I mean, 9's close, but that's just the goal. The goal for every mod should be plus 10. Just something to look out for, because you can get quite a bit of speed added to him. Especially, this needs to be a speed primary. So if you get plus 30 speed here, that's adding 22 speed, and then you add just a plus 10, that's adding 32 speed. 32 speed to him is already in the 90s. So yeah, just, I mean, that's 91 additional speed just like that on 2 mods. So just it's not hard to just add speed. Just a suggestion. Bosk should be tenacious and pretty fast as well. 88 is a good benchmark for him. This should be tenacity. The reason why you want tenacity is because you aim to resist dazes, ability blocks, buff immunities, turn meter reduction, stuff like JTR puts on him. You want him just this should be a tenacity set, or not set, but primary, and then some plus 10 speed. So all across the board, every character, every mod, except for a few, which I will point out, should have a plus 10 speed secondary. And it's not going to be easy to accommodate that instantly. It'll take a few months probably, but plus 10 speed mods shouldn't be too hard to come by. I mean, you could probably get one a day, to be honest. It's not too hard. You refresh the store 3 times, which is 350s, 150 crystals is not terrible to get. And that gives you 3 full refreshes plus the regular amount. And you go to the speed. And what I like to do is sim 8 at a time. And if you see like a green or a blue with like this, for example, a plus 5 speed, see if you can slice it up to plus 10 if possible. And then all mods that do not have speed, you can sell for credits. So it's a passive credit income as well. So it's not a total waste. But yeah, you should have protection here, and tenacity here, with speed here, with plus 10s on the secondaries. And then Boba, looks like you're running the crit damage, crit chance set. Maybe bump up his speed a little bit to plus 70, plus 80, which you can easily do with this mod and that mod and a couple other mods here. But I mean, just like these two right here, you add plus 10, that's already plus 20, which is 76 additional speed. And you should get him around plus 80, plus 90 if possible. But yeah, it's looking good. So just some stuff to work on. Modding is huge. Those are the main 3, and then you can run any 2 other. I see you do have Garrido Zated, so you probably are going to want to use him. And then you can use Zam or Embo are your other 2 good options, or Dengar, any 3 of those. You got the Grievous, you almost have him at gear 13. You have the gear 12 finisher piece already attached, and the Droidica one, nice. Let's see here. So you're running him crit damage with health. I know he does do a lot of crit damage because of his lead and stuff. But if I were you, I'd switch to full out health. You could put a crit damage here, which you do have. But make the whole set health. You want him to be, I mean, you could get him to plus 80k. I think at gear 12 it is, plus 90k. But you want above 110,000 health gear 13, which is probably going to be your next gear 13 based off your gear you already have on him. You have everything but the second piece on the right. So yeah, full health, everything. If you can find a health mod with health primary and speed in the secondary, that'd be great. This you can keep crit damage if you want. That's what I do with a 10 speed secondary. Health primary like you have, and health primary like you have. But all 6 mods should be health. Double Zeta R2. This is something I'm personally working towards. I want to have a double Zeta R2, but Zetas are so stinking hard to come by. I like his speed though. 90 speed's good, and you mixed stats is always a good thing because he offers it to the rest of his team. 3PO you want pretty fast. 80 is decent with some potency. That's actually pretty good. He does get some bonus TM and speed from his unique, so that's also good. But I think plus 80 is okay. Maybe bump it up if you can. I'm sure there's room somewhere, like here. Yeah, there you go. And here. Yeah, so there's room to grow on those. BB-8 you still also want pretty fast. 95 is a great speed for him for a bare minimum. Yeah, so that's good there. I'll talk about HK when I get to Darth Revan. Jordica, all offense, perfect. I like that with crit chance. Let's see, speed, you have plus 31. Try to get a little bit lower. I mean, 31 is still good. So this is one of the only characters you want 0 speed on. I think actually the only character in the whole game you want absolute 0 additional speed on him. But I would change this to an offense primary with as much flat offense secondary as possible, 0 speed. Offense is perfect. You can get away with the 4 additional speed. That doesn't hurt you too much because that 134 offense is a good mod. So you don't have to worry about this one. 4 speed won't hurt. But you can definitely change this one out. It has no additional offense in the secondaries. You can replace this one as well. I know 29 offense is cool, but you can get higher than that. Did this one have? Yeah, so keep the offense primary as well, or aim for offense primary. Try slicing this. See if you can get the offense higher. Yeah, so you have the right idea. Definitely have the right idea. No speed in offense, or no speed, comma, with offense. B2, you want tenacity and potency at the same time. The reason why tenacity is so big on him is because if you're going against a Grievous team, you're trying to get rid of the B2 as quickly as possible. And the way to do this is you want to daze him, stun him, ability block, turn meter reduction. You try to just keep him in check. And if your tenacity is high, he resists everything, or not everything, but most of the stuff. So if I were you, I'd do 2 tenacity and 4 potency, or 4 tenacity and 2 potency. You can keep this with potency as well. I think what I do is 4 tenacity with 2 potency, and this right here is a potency cross. Speed is not a whole big issue on him. Plus 68 is perfectly fine. That's probably exactly where you want him. You do want this to be protection though, so if you're losing 30 speed, then probably add a little bit. But you want this to be protection for him to survive. You want this to be protection because he's not a big damage dealer. Crit damage isn't really going to do much for him. And yeah, protection. This is a good mod because it has potency in the secondaries with plus 10 speed. This is a good mod for him. And where's your B1? Okay, you're probably working on this team slowly, so eventually you want to get your B1 up. He's kind of the he's the character that kind of fuels the whole team. When you do get him up, you could probably use him at gear 9, to be honest. Gear 9 3-star, perfectly usable. But just make sure eventually you put a Zeta on him because he heals so much. You can take a red health, no protection character to green 80% and 40%. A green 80% health with 40% protection. It's ridiculous how much he heals. So kind of work on him. Gear 9 is usable with 3-star and a Zeta. I think the Zeta on him is absolutely required. And get him as fast as you can. Everything else is secondary. Just fast. His triangle should be offense because he cannot critically hit. His cross should be potency for the target locks, and the rest should just be focused on speed. Magma should be completely defensive focused. You have a mod missing from him, probably because you used it somewhere else. Today you might have moved it. Who knows where that mod is? But yeah, you want him extremely defensive. You could put 4 defense mods and 2 tenacity. That's what I run on him. Makes him very tanky. You want his protection to be through the roof. And so you want protection here, protection here, protection on the cross, and protection here. I'm just gonna make sure we're good. Gotta make sure I'm recording these with voice and don't want to miss anything. Anyways, yeah, make him very tanky. He is the character that basically keeps the rest of your team alive, as well as B1. Him and B1 are pretty huge. I think everybody's almost essential on this team. Jordica is the only one that isn't quotes essential, but Jordica is my favorite character in the game, so hats off to him. I love Jordica. Let's see here. Thrawn, you have a gear 11 on a 4 mil account. Huh. I personally would take him to gear 12. Because he gets 12 extra speed from the other gear 12 plus 8 speed from the finisher, and then mods included is 10. So technically you get 20 speed from gear 11 to gear 13, and that's not including mods. So it's actually a huge deal. He should be top 5 speeded characters in your roster, just solely based on the fracture. I'm sure obviously you know what fracture does, but he needs to be speedy speed. You have troopers. I like here. Let me go to Imperial troopers. Where's your Stark? Is he fast? No. So for troopers to work, you need Stark to be as fast as moddingly possible instead of as fast as humanly possible, as fast as moddingly possible. If you want your troopers to work, he needs to be very fast and start with this turn or this move, which gives turn meter and buffs, because with this lead, buffs gain this and that. So it's like, yeah. Let me know if you're wanting your troopers. Yeah, send me a PM if you want to work with your troopers. They're a terrific faction. Very fun to use. One of the funnest teams in the game, for sure. We were at Empire. How's your Vader? Decently fast. Try to get him to plus 100 or faster, because if you're going to use him in a Palpatine, you want him to go first and apply debuffs, and then take the debuffs off with his saber throw, giving everybody turn meter. I'm sure you're well aware of the Palpatine lead. Rule of thumb, obviously the plus 10 speed secondaries, but try not to have any gray mods. The slicing material between gray and green is absurd. There's so many mod salvage for that. You might as well just take it to green and see what you get. Don't take this one because it doesn't have speed, but you do have the right idea with crit damage. So speed, 4 speed mods, 2 crit chance like you have, but just add some speed. Oh, and this should be either potency or offense, either one. And then, yeah, protection's good. How's Palpatine? Potency, speed, and crit damage. You can easily get some more speed on him. The plus 5 and the plus 3 here can be replaceable. The rest are okay. But yeah, you can get him up to at least plus 90. It's not too hard. But this should be protection, actually. I know crit damage is a great thing, but you want this guy to survive as long as possible. He's a very squishy character, so I bring this to protection and keep this protection, but add some speed. You want him to try to get to just as much protection as possible on him. Yeah, you do have 3PO, so your Ewoks are probably good. Okay. You probably had them modded at one point, and then now you don't? And now it's looking like you do. Oh. Okay, well. Yeah. Not much I can say about Ewoks because you must have moved mods for maybe a raid or something. I don't know. But so First Order, you have Kylo Ren Zeta, but not Kylo Ren Unmasked Zeta. I think the Unmasked lead is the most important Zeta in this whole faction. You also don't have any mods on him, and a few mods on him. You have a lot of gray and green mods. Just kind of curious why that is. So for example, First Order Officer is right now useless because your Kylo Ren is useless. So I would farm a lot of mods. Modding will be your best friend until like 2020. um, it's going to be a long, brutal farm, but that's my biggest suggestion to you. A lot of people like to just work on characters, but the modding of characters is the most important part of the game. It defines your roster. But when you do, I'd give him a full health set with protection primaries on the triangle, cross, and circle, but all 6 health mods, and then speed around plus 80. Kylo Ren, you have him modded for offense. You can mod him actually for speed because the faster he goes, the more he can lash out and give turn meter to the rest of the team. You don't really want Phasma in this team. You want Kylo Ren Unmasked, First Order Stormtrooper, First Order Officer, Kylo Ren, and First Order Executioner, also known as Fox. And you can mod him for complete full health with a crit damage triangle, but speed as well. So basically the reason why I want you to work on some First Order stuff is because your Kylo Ren having a Zeta, there's almost no point in having the Zeta if you're not going to use the team. So that's what I would work on for that. Shock T 7 stars? What? Bro. Maybe you're not free to play. Because you can't farm her yet. Whoa. But your clones are all gear 9 and 8. How come you... So if you have Shock T at 7 stars, and you have a Kyrotech on her at the current moment, bottom left of her gear, how come if you have her 7 stars, what are you wanting to use with her? Are you just preparing for light side TB or what's this? If you had Padme, which I don't see you do, oh, there she is. Okay. You've had her 5 stars, gear 1, level 1 since her event, which is 3 months ago. Dude, you gotta get her up. She's top 4 team in the game. She can beat Darth Revan, Darth Malak, which is absurd. You'd benefit tremendously in Grand Arena and Territory War if you geared her up. Gear her to gear 11, give her the double Zetas. You can use Shock T in that lineup. That's kind of why I was curious about that. I would use Padme, Shock T, Jedi Knight Anakin, General Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano. Am I missing one? No, that's what I would use. That's a good lineup. If you don't want to use Shakti T and you want to use Shakti T with clones, then do Padme, General Kenobi, Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka Tano, and Zaris. That's also a good team. But dude, work on your Padme. That she's so good. Trust me, she's unbelievable. Um, enough said about her. Just work on her. um, Offense and crit chance is perfect. You can add a little bit more speed, but she does gain 50 speed from her unique. Crit damage with crit chance is great. Maybe add a little bit more speed. I'm sure you can fit that in somewhere. Yeah, there you go. And bring this to crit damage or offense, either one. Potency is perfect. That's what you want on him. That's good. You can add 5 here. Yeah, so there's room to grow on the speed here. 77. You can probably add some more protection. He does not need critical damage at all. You can change this to protection here. Definitely protection because he doesn't have any debuffs. Doesn't need potency whatsoever. And then protection. How's your Yoda? Offense with crit chance. 90 speed's great. You have... Okay, so you can change this to offense. I know you like the speed, but definitely benefits more from the offense on the primary. And then slice this up to green. Just see what you get. Gray mods just try not to have any gray mods. At least bring them up to green, and then blue if you can afford it. Geonosians, work on these boys. Geonosian Brood Alpha is an insane character. If you can afford a Zeta, the unique Queen's Will is crazy because you start with a pre-taunt and 6 characters instead of 5. These guys are very underrated. Very few people know how to fight them. I just watched Cubs do a stream today or yesterday. No, it's today, and he took Throwa and Scion against these guys, and the Geonosians weren't that geared, and the Throwa Scion lost, and he lost the whole Grand Arena because of Geonosians. So highly recommend working on them. I'm not gonna. Do I dare? Okay, you have him. I fully recommend a speed set on him. You can move the offense to a different character in the game since you already have him 6E'd, but he benefits the most on his kit from speed. Faster he goes, the better. More times he can use direct focus. Quicker he can use in the match. He does hit hard, but you could get plus 1292 special offense with a speed set. It just, you can get those in secondaries and like primaries. Like if you had offense here, crit chance is good for him, but if you had like an offense here and then offense in your secondaries, you could still get this special offense damage. But the speed should be at least above 120, 130 is preferred. Yeah, we already went over Yoda. Bastila, speed is still good. Let me do this really quick. There we go. Speed's always good. Try to get her to plus 100. I do like the protection you have on her. She benefits a lot from survivability. So the protection you have on her is fantastic. Try to keep that, but increase the speed. You probably have, oh, you didn't even have protection on here. You must really like crit damage triangles because you have them on almost every character. But you can bring this to protection if you want. Keep this at protection. I like the speed and offense on her and keep this protection. But yeah, you bring this to plus 10 speed and protection, and she will have so much survivability. So let's see, 79. You want him to survive quite a bit. I would put this to, I'd give this protection, protection and health, or you can do health, protection, and health. But you want him to just survive as long as possible, because let's say in mirror matches, whoever kills the other Jolie first is going to win the match. Jolie is the most annoying character in the game. Maybe not the most annoying anymore, given that Malik's in the game. But he used to be, quote unquote, the character who broke the game. You want him to live. That's a good set on him. I like the offense and crit damage, and speed's fine on him. How are your Night Sisters? Ooh, okay. You have some crit damage and crit chance with some 6Es. You probably 6E this because of the offense secondary, and you 6E this because of the offense secondary. I don't disagree. More offense the better, but do keep in mind that 6Es are best with speed. I do. Okay. I would take it. I think this is fine. But you definitely want her to be fast. So 43 speed will do almost nothing for you. This should totally have at least plus 12, 13. Plus 10 is okay. And plus 10, I know you're looking for offense here, I can tell. But you want her to be fast. Oh, definitely speed. You want speed arrow on her. Again, I know you're looking for offense because you want her to hit hard. But faster she goes, the better. Especially against people who want to use troopers against you. A lot of 4.2 million rosters will have decked out troopers. And if they see a slow Asajj, they will tear this team apart. Yeah. This team is very vulnerable to troopers. You want all these guys to be so much faster. I'm talking like plus 90, plus 100 speed, which is not really that hard to get. You could probably get away with plus 80, but plus 20 is not going to do you much at all. You were probably looking for, yeah, that's what you're looking towards. If they don't get to take a turn in the beginning, they're not going to be able to do any damage regardless. If I had a full, like if I take a full troopers team against this, your Talzin and your Asajj won't even get one turn. So you want plus 10 speed, 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 and you also want speed primary with offense secondary. I get what you're trying to do, but trust me, you got to get these guys a lot faster if you want them to do any damage. She needs to be your fastest on the team. I would give her a full speed set. Ideally, plus 100 extra speed additional is what I would go for. And then just as tanky as possible. The reason why you want her fast is because the more time she takes a turn, the more time she taunts. Talia is more used for raids. I would not use her in PvP. This is the full 6 health mods is good, but you also want her to be fast with some potency. So I would give this a lot more speed. This should be potency primary focused with speed, and this should also be speed, speed, speed. All these need to have a lot more speed on them. I see that you're trying to do health, but it's not going to do much when she doesn't take a turn. And then if you can afford it, Spirit would be your 5th on your Night Sister team. She's very underrated. You already have all 3 of her abilities Omega'd, so I would put mods on Spirit and get her some gear and some mods and put her in the team. She can work at gear 10, so you're already at gear 7. Not too much more to do. And if I recall, she's an easy gear. You probably will be able to get Malik. It's looking like you have 17,500 on all of them. Yep. So good luck on your quest to get Malik. I wish you the best. Looks like you should be able to. So early congrats for when you unlock him. Your rebels are looking nice. Looks like rebels are probably your favorite faction, if I were to guess. 87 speed's all right on him. You have a lot of potency on him, which is kind of what a lot of people run. How do you have 52%? Does he have 1% potency? Base? What the heck? I don't know what that is. Oh well. But yeah, there's room to grow in speed mods here. That's pretty good modded. CLS. Crit damage, crit chance is what you want. Speed isn't huge, but it doesn't hurt. You can definitely grow on the speed. Oh, this should be probably offense. You can increase this pretty easily. Just add 5. Let's see. Here as well. So those are 2 mods you can replace with some faster mods. Chewy boy. Let's see. Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. You have her modded for offense and crit chance. You can add a little bit more additional speed if you're going to use her. She should probably be at, I don't know, plus 80 speed roughly. She's not slow, but she's not like hyper fast. She's a really fun character to use. This move is absolutely amazing. You have a lot of Zetas on your rebels. Oh, Han Solo is only gear 11 at a 4.2 mil roster. I would gear 12 him as quickly as possible. Give him some more speed. You want him to be at least plus 75, roughly. Which you can easily do with that right there, that. Yeah, all of these. Mod farming. Mod farming. I don't ever use Princess Leia, personally. I mean, I don't even know what she does. I know she steals and attacks like 3 times, but that's about it. Which one's her Zeta? Is it this? Maybe. If you are going to use Princess Leia, I'd probably get her up to speed benchmark of maybe. She looks to be a fast character if you only have 33 speed added and she's already 197. So you could probably get away with like plus 60, plus 70 speed. If you're going to use her, you already have the Zeta on her, so might as well use her if you can. Get her to gear 12. Use her with a Rebel team if possible. JTR, do you have crit damage and potency? You have crit damage and crit chance. I would do crit damage and potency. Keep this potency, but your 2 crit chance switch out for a potency set. Because you really wanna hit this. Yeah, I think we went over this. That's a good BB-8 set. Do you have Nest? Yeah, you do. Gear 9. Okay. Oh, you almost have a Gear 10. She does work gear 9. It's not like it doesn't work. So I like to say that you should choose between running her very fast and running her very slow, and not in between. So you can run her fast as in like plus 120 additional speed, or you can run her very slow, like plus 10, plus 20, but just put so much tenacity on her. I'm talking like plus 120% tenacity. This is more defensive and annoys the crap out of people. So you can choose either which one to do. You have Kira, Zalbar, Mission. You've got an L3. You've got a good Kira team, I can see. 73 speed's perfectly fine for him. You probably have a lot of offense on him, yeah. Some good potency, or at least additional. He's a fun character, Canderous. Very fun character. So yeah, we talked about some bugs to work on, B1 to work on, Magna Guard B2. You do have Newt at gear 10. That's good. So here's the faction of the year. I guess faction of the later year. Wait, didn't no, because he came out March, so it's pretty much all of the year. So this is a plus 125, and this is a plus 121, if my memory is correct. Yes. I would swap those. I would give her the 125 and him the 121. The faster Bastila gets out of the gate, the better. It's just, that's how matchups work. You have Malik. Let's see. What are you running? You're running protection all around. Okay. I'd probably switch this out for speed. He does really well with speed. I know he gets a lot of bonus turns. But he also does well with speed. Some people in my arena shard run him as their very fastest character because on defense he opens up with torture, which would inflict shock on the enemy Sith Trooper, and then your Darth Revan follows up with a fear on the whole team because he can target the leader instead of Sith Trooper. So that's another strat you could look towards. Scion, okay, that's good for Scion. Good potency, protection, speed's pretty good. Nihilus, you don't want to be too fast, but not too slow. That's perfectly fine. Get rid of the crit damage. I'd put a protection primary on him. You just want him to survive as long as possible. Protection or health primary. He's not really known for his damage at all. He's very utility oriented, meaning the cooldown drains from his force drain, and then the instantly killing people left and right is what he's known for. Marauder is very underrated and starting to shine a lot more. I like how you have a crit damage set of 91 additional speed. If you want to try Marauder in your arena team, he works tremendously well, especially at gear 13. I know that's a big push, but you could try him out at gear 11, gear 12, see what you think. And Palpatine. I think we went over Palpatine. Yeah, just get him a little more beefy. It's more survivability. Savage Zeta. So if you're gonna use a character that's Zetaed, you might want to put some mods on him so you can actually use it. Because if you're going to use this character, or if you're going to Zeta a character, at least make him usable. So 4 mods at 42 speed isn't really usable. So just a heads up. So suggestions is I would focus on, if you're 4.2, that's probably setting what, 7 defenses and 7 attacks for Grand Arena. Let's just go with that number, 7 and 7. I don't know if that's accurate. It could be 8, could be 6, but let's say it's 7. I would focus very, very, very strongly on 14 teams. I know it seems like a lot, but focus on 14 teams. 14 teams that have very good mods, mods that you're proud of, and then focus on what you want to use for defense, what you want to use for offense, because that varies. Let's say you want to put Throwa on defense, which I do not suggest because she's a very offensive character, especially nowadays. But let's just say you want her to be on defense. You would mod her differently than if you are using her for offense. So modding is very dependent on offense or defense, but mainly speed is the most important thing in the game. And I recommend you farm a lot of speed mods. A lot of speed mods. Zetas would be Padme for sure, hands down. You're going to want the double Padme Zeta, even at 5 stars. She's incredible. I recommend the Ahsoka Tano Zeta, the General Kenobi Zeta, Jedi Knight Anakin Zeta. And then for Separatists, I recommend B2 Zeta, B1 Zeta, and Geonosian Brood Alpha Zeta, and Newt Gunray Zeta. Those are what I would suggest for your next Zetas. Hope this helped. PM me if you have any more questions. I'd be glad to help. Thank you so much.